that's how you feel. That's how I feel. And I'm pretty sure that's how you feel when you think about this Transformers series on its 5th movie as a whole. Might as well just replace Khan with Bay. Mr. Bay. Or Jagoff Bay. Cinephils and YouTubers, John Ricky here for another edition of Nerd With Me. Ah, boy. So here we go. Transformers, The Last Night. And this series has been going on for 10 years, almost to the day. It's been going on for 10 years. Now, the first one was a good blockbuster film that had some fun, had some good dialogue, or not good dialogue, but funny situations, you know. It was the first time in 2007 where it's like, oh my god, the Transformers are real-ish, and they're on Earth. Waiting for years for this ever since I was a kid, having the Transformers toys, so on and so forth, so geeked out. And the first one was a good adaptation of what you expect. I wish they would have had the Transformers more front and center instead of being side characters in their own movie, but it was acceptable. And boy, then you got the whole Revenge of the Fallen and racial stereotypes, gratuitous butt shots of Megan Fox. That, come on, that's pretty bad when it's like, wow, eye candy and I don't even want it. It's weird, but it's just excessive. But not only that, it's just the characters got stupider, the storylines got convoluted and just not good. And basically this whole series has been just a fart box after a fart box after a fart box. Now I'm hoping this right here is a fart box within an ice box, okay, if that makes sense. And basically, you know what, I am convinced now that Michael Bay is literally trolling all the haters and everyone who hates the Transformers franchise because of him. He did not need to come back, but do we really need to talk about Age of Extinction? Age of Extinction was horrible. We all know that, and it was edited poorly. This is more of that, so you can kind of make out the action a little better. But basically, he took everything that everyone hates about the series and just put it in there anyway and regurgitated it with no streamlined story whatsoever. This literally is 2.5 hours with an hour-and-a-half plot. Yeah. And I gotta ask, what is up with 2017 and these, continuation movies in a series, in franchises, from Resident Evil to this one to whatever else is a sequel? Most of them rewriting their own history. What is that? This one basically tries to rewrite everything and kind of throws aside the first 1 or 2 movies and then really connect to the 4th one, which is the worst one. Yeah, this is just poorly written, poorly put together, and this is the worst way. Okay, Transformers was a toy line that made a TV series to sell the toy line. I'd rather watch the series big time before I'll watch any of these anymore, because they actually had coherent stories. This one is just convoluted, just a 3-hour commercial for Budweiser, the car companies, and what have you, Victoria's Secret, and everything like that. And the reason why I say that is because of the main chick, the replacement for Cade Yeager, aka Marky Mark's daughter, and the replacement for Megan Fox's character and Rose Hundley's character from the 3rd one. Now, I don't mind the actress, but it's just that the way they present her, she's supposed to be intelligent, but everything's exposition, and she just spouts out exposition or whatnot. They try to make her a little bit more important, but there's this one thing where it's like, wow, the whole gripe about Michael Bay's misogynistic tendencies, especially in the Transformers series, is just really shows, even though it's kind of toned down. As soon as she meets Mark Wahlberg, when she gets I don't even care, when she gets taken by Anthony Hopkins, of all people. Anthony Hopkins is in this. But she gets taken by Anthony Hopkins' robot friend, gets kidnapped, brought to them. She's in like some regular type clothes or whatever. And then the next scene you see her in a cocktail dress for no apparent reason. Nothing. And it's just really distracting. That's how bored I was in this movie, where I'm just focusing on stupid stuff like that. We're just like, wow, they're really just... It actually takes away from the actress playing the character. I believe her name is Vivian. But it's just really distracting is that she's not the character that she's supposed to be. She's really just, oh, this actress playing that character, but looking like she just stepped off the runway at Mulan or something like that. But not only that, I mean, that's really just all the characters. All the characters are stereotypes or product placement or demographics. Particularly this little girl named Isabel, who's the actress's name is Isabel Moner. You've seen the promo trailers of her be like, oh, girl power, so like you're like, oh, okay, she's about to do something. Even though it's corny as hell the way they presented her. It's like, oh, throw like a girl, da da da. I'm all about that, you know. I'm cool with that. But it's presented in such a like, oh, in your face, yeah, girls. Whereas like with like something like Wonder Woman, it's just implied, but it's not like, yo, I'ma punch you in the face with this whole agenda. And she represents a triple demographic. First off, she's 13, 14 years old, so she represents 15-year-olds on down. So you got that demographic. Then you have, you know, the fact that she's a girl, so you got that demographic. But on top of that, she's speaking Spanglish, so you got the minority angle. There's a whole bunch of obvious ploys just to get more money. And that's what this movie is. It's just like a bottomless pit ATM for Michael Bay just to be like, hey, I'm getting your money. But I digress. But every character is just basically paper thin. I'm actually asking how they got a lot of the stars in this movie. I mean, movie cost like $217 million to make. So basically, this is a $300 million movie if you include advertising, marketing, and everything else, right? So I'm pretty sure out of that production budget, probably 120 went to the actual movie, and 70 million probably went to the cast that they got, because they got Anthony Hopkins in probably one of the worst characters he has ever played. He's trying his hardest with it. I swear, they must have something on him to bring him in here. I can understand why he goes to Thor, and he was great in that, but this movie, they must know that he cannibalized some people in preparation for Silence of the Lambs or something like that. You know, that's what I think that they got on him to bring him in this movie, because I'm just wondering, what are you doing here? John Goodman's in there, Ken Watanabe's in there as a stereotype, you know, transformer, and it's just like, wow. Of course, you have all the bloated action set pieces where I'm actually bored. Explosions everywhere, and this whole series, Transformers as a whole, has made me bored to tears by explosions. And I really just don't even... They need a page one rewrite. They need to have Michael Bay just stay on as a consulting producer or something like that. Some of a lesser role, just give him a paycheck and let him shut up and do whatever. And I feel bad saying that because there's a number of movies in Michael Bay's resume that I actually like. The Rock is one of the best action movies, period. That 13 Hours, that was a well-made movie. It's directed by Michael Bay. I'm like, wait, what? Really? It was actually solid. So he can make decent movies. He needs to get away from Transformers. That's it. Please. Step away. Let someone else take over. Because he basically just collects the money and runs. But yeah, I mean, every one of these stories try to infuse like humor in it, and it's infant humor, oh, peekaboo, it's like that sort of deal where you're just like, it's not really that funny, but hey, they're getting a kick out of it. I'm sitting there like, and just inappropriate humor too. I think they even go as far as have a Transformer drop the F-bomb and everything like that. It's like, what? In a Transformers movie? That don't make no sense. So, yeah, This thing is a jumbled mess. It really just needs to be taken away, rebooted like 10 years from now, so people can forget about this travesty of a series. This is definitely one of the worst movies I've seen this year. This actually makes the Tupac movie All Eyes on Me look like daggone Citizen Kane, okay? Because that's how jumbled it is. And it regurgitates stories that it's already gone through. It even clipped off of the little thing that happened with Suicide Squad with the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and bringing in Megatron and they started doing this whole thing that happened in Suicide Squad. It made no sense. It was so obvious. But I will say that I liked the first 10 minutes of it where they had the medieval knights, and I think I would have rather seen that story. But then it gets really corny, and they're saying, oh, the Transformers have been here for centuries, right? And they've been in every major conflict, every major event in history that has happened. World War II, World War I, they were on the Underground Railroad or something like that, Civil War, all that stuff. And it's just ridiculous. It makes no sense. Anyway, for this jumbled mess of a movie, incoherent, misogynistic, everything under the sun that's not really that good, I have to give this
frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Not anymore. I'm done. Please stop it. Let's move on. Anyway, YouTubers and City Files, that's my thoughts on it. Don't go see Transformers. Keep your money. Wait for whatever comes next, okay? Save it. Take care, YouTubers. Peace.